Hello YouTube, it's Sunday. Welcome to Sunday in the shop. You can do this. It's actually Saturday. See the temperature about 72 degrees, 9:30 in the morning. We're going to do a little body work on the truck, and then we'll find a couple other things to do. Since I'll probably be tired of seeing the body work videos after 3 of them, but we'll go over and show you just what we're going to have to do to the other side of the truck. Stay tuned. Okay, this side we're going to have some rust there. See that bubbling? That's Bondo cracking and bubbling. So when I got this, it had been repaired with wheel well patches on the outside. So all that colored primer is what I put on it. And you come down here and it's all cracked again. So this is not shaped right at all. When this body comes down like that, this is not proper at all. It was just all fake to make it look good enough. So I think we're going to, after all this work, we don't know what we're going to do with this truck. It may be spray can painted. I do like the color. I've had it that way for 20 years, but there's always room for change. But that's that on that. If you see any more of this side, you'll just see the pictures with it done or in the process of doing it. Put the tin behind there. And so we're not too worried about it. We can spray some bed liner back here. We're not going to get back here and grind that rust off the metal. We do have a fender brace gone. See that? That could have been part of the problem. We will be replacing that. It's gone. Don't know where it went. Rusted and fell off. So, okay, enough of that. We spent too much time on that. We'll think of something else here to do. Ain't that a big mess? See what you find when you just keep digging? I gotta laugh. Like I said, this has all been puttied before. I puttied up here before and puttied down there before. That was like 10 years ago. Okay, we're going to show you some tips and tricks on what I use to spread my Bondo. Okay, might as well put this in Sunday in the shop. Okay, here's my Bondo. I don't get paid to show any brand. That's the actual name. Little stick to get it out of the can with. It'll be cleaner than that before I use it. Okay, here's a nasty old spreader. Here's what I do. Bondo does not stick to plastic. I scrape it off. Now these have writing and it's raised on here. See if you can see that. Get that off with a razor blade. You can see where I've gouged this. I was using a actual single edge razor blade. It was gouging up my spatula spreader. And this is off an old piece of plastic off a TV. But see how it's got an edge where you can hang on to it over here with your left hand? Here, switch hands. See? Got like a palette. Feel like Bob Ross makes all them colors. Anyway, you don't know who Bob Ross is. I don't know what to tell you. You're always going to have a good side and a bad side. Something's going to get destroyed. Use your good side to lay it in there. Well, maybe use the bad side to slop it in, but when you're a finished coat, I said, remember, the wider you go, the better coverage you get. You know, you're trying to cover, say you had a hole about this big, you know, don't use a little one like I've done before, which is wrong. Try to use something where you go across the whole hole. I should have took a Sharpie marker and drew that. Try to use something that covers. You can do this. Sunday, I had enough of this Bondo work. It's starting to burn me out. See that? Use something big. Like if you're drywalling. If you can drywall mud on sheetrock, you can do Bondo. Trust me, you be an expert at it. It's like frosting a cake. No, it's not. It's nasty, it's stinky. I've been using the fan and the grinder to blow the dust away because I don't feel like getting out my air compressor and hearing it run all day. So, wear your gloves. I have goggles. These gloves aren't too bad. Cheapy, dark purple ones from Harbor Freight. But, okay, enough of that. We're going to find a different subject. At the end of the video, you'll probably see some pictures of the truck, though. We've already made one video of Bondoing it. In my 10, might as well include that. The old computer PC. Look at the mess. The old computer PC cabinet. Now, this is better than 30 gauge. I don't think it's quite 26 gauge because I have some 26 gauge duct pipe, but it's better than 30. It's a lot stiffer and a lot better. So it's good enough. It's good enough metal for what I'm using it for, but recycle, repurpose. Okay. Stay tuned, we'll find a different subject. We promise we will. One last look at this, we'll go in and we decide to show you our extensions, ratchets, etc., breaker bars on top of our toolbox. It does look better on the other side. There will be a picture showing you two different color paints. Neither one's even close. One's too much like that teal color, but it does look actually better than the other side. Good enough. This thing will probably get paint camouflaged. I haven't decided yet. Maybe I'll get some input and do a walk around and do a video on it. Should I paint like Rust-Oleum camo paint, rattle cans? Because I can't keep driving around like this. I just don't like that. Drive around with different colored paints all sprayed over something, and it looks like you're never going to finish it. So, off to the shop. Okay, we promised something besides body work. Let's see if I can pan in here and get most of this. Kind of cramped in here, and it is dusty in here. Okay, I'm not bragging about how many tools I have. Just a lot of this stuff's cheap stuff. We'll start at the back, okay? Here's my cheap deep well Harbor Freight sockets. Okay, there's metric, and here's the American SAE. Here's an assortment of 1/2-inch drive. Most of these are, let me look, I've had them since 1980. Blackhawk. I bought them at a pawn shop back in 1980, so I've lost a few. Okay, we'll show you these and get them out of here. Here's my ones I had in the video. The Allen bit, Allen wrench, Torx bit. Also, both these are Pittsburgh from Harbor Freight. Okay. Then we'll go over here and we'll show you our 1/4-inch deep well. This is for people who probably haven't seen my videos, metric and standard. Okay. We'll move those out of the way. Are we getting the corner of that box over there? Okay, this is an old SK Wayne. See that? A guy gave me this, worked at a Chevy garage, and I treasure it because he gave it to me. It was empty. This is just assortment of 1/4-inch drive sockets. I usually most deep well is what I use. I think I can talk. Here, just keep trying. I've showed this box before. This is laying here because I used this one day, and it's an 8mm. Okay, here's a little swivel. Like 5/8 have that 9/16, and I think I have a 7/16. No, yeah, 7/16, 5/8. If I get on camera, I'm guessing that's 9/16. No, 1/2-inch. Whatever. Okay, and then another small one. It's probably 3/8 or something. It's just something I acquired somewhere. So who knows where they came from. Okay, that's to take the my tractor, your Greyhound Predator engines, that's to take the spark plug out. Okay, back here I've wrote down, because I have a 29mm and a 30, because on the car there's two different size nuts, okay? I wrote down the American equivalent back there. Like say 29 is 1.125, 30mm fit about 1 3/16, 32 fits about 1.25, 36 fits 1 7/16. Well, I bought a 32 because that's all Harbor Freight had, and I was doing a project with a wheel bearing off the Cavalier. That's from Harbor Freight. These are from an O'Reilly store. They're much better quality. Performance tool, a 30 and a 29, much better quality they are if you really look at them. Now this I bought years ago when we had a Subaru. That is the size of nut, believe it or not, on a little Subaru, front wheel drive. I think it's PT, Taiwan. It's either, I think it's performance tool. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, I've got like this, just for the truck. 1 3/4, you can do this. A 3/4 impact, just for the truck, okay? We got one of those speed bars. We got several 1/4-inch extensions. This one, the ball's broke, so you can see where it had tape on it. An old deep well, don't know why it's up there, 3/8. Here's a 3/8 drive, 1/4-inch, another short 1/4-inch, another 3/8, 1/2-inch, another 3/8. I suppose that can set back there. Another 3/8 can set back there. A long 1/2-inch. The stuff I've acquired over years. Here's a nut driver handle I use just for, I'd probably use on the Briggs & Stratton. Yeah, it's 1/4-inch. I'd probably use it on the Briggs & Stratton. Spark plug gapper, it just lays there. These are those adapters. You know, everybody used to get that 3/8 to 1/4-inch socket adapter. Well, this takes you from a 1/4 inch up to put on a 3/8 socket. This takes you up from a 3/8 ratchet, use a 1/2 inch socket. This lets you put it on 1/2 inch drive and use a 3/8 socket. I'm sure I confused everybody there. This is a Craftsman 1/2 inch drive that does not fit anything. I had a video on this. I am not lying to you. It does not fit a ratchet, doesn't fit anything. See that? It's some kind of reject. I saved it. You give it to your friend when he wants the extension. And let's find a 1/2 inch drive. He'll get mad at you. If you don't let him walk away, he'll probably throw it away. But see, that won't fit in there. That's just a joke. These are the things you put in your sockets. I won't even show you the other 3 little ones. 3/8, 1/4 inch. This is 1/2 inch. 3/4 head. These go down in your socket, so you can use a wrench. I just had to have these. You know, them are nice. You know, there might be something you want to get into somewhere where a ratchet just don't fit. So I snatch them up when I see that stuff like at Harbor Freight. And I usually use a 20% off coupon or I won't buy it. Another nice chrome vanadium. Popular Mechanics says PM, I'm sure it is. Another 1/2 inch drive. Assorted 3/8 drive. Short sockets, some are 6-point. Okay. Here is a 5/8 swivel for spark plugs. There's no rubber in it. There should be a rubber in these. This is chrome vanadium made in Japan. So you know it's pretty old. It's Japan. So I've got a lot of old tools. Here's your like old big Ford spark plugs. 13/16. Some of you correct me if I'm wrong. A 1/4 inch swivel. A lot of guys don't have a 1/4 inch swivel. I'll set that off in there. 1/2 inch swivel, which is broke. But I'm going to fix it someday. Can you see where it's cracked? I'm going to fix this someday or make something out of it. Of course, I have a 3/8 swivel. And, like I said, here's those 2 sockets. Let's go to the ratchets real quick. I had these in one of my videos. This is that KT where I switched it around. So we'll set that off here. Here is a Craftsman, which I cleaned the grease out of the teeth. Am I getting this? I'm over here at an angle. Let's move the camera over here. We can do what we want. This is Sunday and it's not even professional. There. Not a bad ratchet. An old SK, don't say Wayne, found this in the dirt in an old shed. It's got the DAP fuse 3/8 sockets. Found it in the dirt, cleaned it up. And I've probably had this since the 80s. I know I've had it since the 80s. Here is a Craftsman 1/4 inch breaker bar. Cute little thing. My Blackhawk ratchet. I've had a 3-foot pipe on here taking lug nuts off cars before when I couldn't find a breaker bar. A short breaker bar. This was an old flex ratchet. See where I welded a piece of extension on there? I mean, that's pretty cobbled. That's pretty bad. I desperately needed some little breaker bar one day. Here is a nice looking, no name, little 3/8 breaker bar. Well, that's pretty nice. Of course, here's my new Tecton ratchet. We've had a video on that. Here is a Taiwan, $5 at a pawn shop. And I know there was Taiwan because they had a whole box full. Here's the $3 1/4 inch Taiwan one. I do not use the old SK one no more. This one is way nicer. This one works, but it kind of jams up. It's a little bit more fun. It kind of gets kind of something weird in it. The new 18-inch ratchet from Tecton. An old Evercraft made in Taiwan, 1/2 inch breaker bar. So I'm assuming this is about 18 inches when you lay it by that ratchet. Here is my Harbor Freight $20 or $15 on the you know what I mean, tent sale. Well, I stood on this. I weigh 250 plus. I know I'm overweight. I stood on this, get the nut off the CV shaft to change the wheel bearing in the cab. I stood on this and bounced on it. And I also stood out and I tightened it up. I do believe they put them nuts on too tight. And that's it. This goes to my drill press. I'm sure it does. Because it's an oddball wrench. It goes to something. That's about it. I just thought I'd show everybody what's in here. Pretty well crammed in the top of this box. So, like I said, a lot of these were acquired on sale. Like say you had a coupon for these. Deep wells are 10, you might get them for 8. But that's all we got. This is probably going to be a long video. Man, that's 9 minutes me yakking up here. Thanks for watching this week, and we'll see you next Sunday.